Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about some stocks that are about to go crazy tomorrow and why all of you should keep them on your watch list. We're also going to look at the overall market to get you guys prepared as always. Y'all, let's dive right into the charts right off the bat. We're gonna start off with the NASDAQ, all right? Now, with the NASDAQ, things are looking pretty bullish. Looking very, very bullish. Now, we had the first bullish pennant. We had the run, followed by the retest of, I wonder if it didn't quite get to 17,150, but it tried. It tried its best. And then it bounced again, right? Now, right now, it's looking like it's showing us another structure, a very bullish structure. This right here on the 1 hour, actually. So this right there is an ascending triangle. And I saw this thing pre-market and we actually took a day trade on there. Let me show you guys on here with the Discord. So I was looking at this thing. I put out a warning pre-market 4 minutes before the market opened. I told everybody, look, this is about to break out. The structure is there. Keep your eyes on this thing. All right. It was playing games in the first 30 minutes until it finally popped out of here, as you can see. So as soon as it popped out of this structure, I ended up buying calls right at the breakout of the little structure and the big structure. Let me teach you guys this thing. So we're gonna move on to here. So the little structure, let's go to QQQ. So the little structure is right here. It's kind of sloppy because it broke out a lot earlier than intended. Like if the bigger one wasn't there, I might have hesitated on this one. But because it was there, I thought it would take just a little bit longer before this move ended up shifting right here instead. I thought it would happen like that. But as soon as it broke out, I was like, why not? Let's just take this day trade. And I held all my calls all the way until 9:54 when this thing started to show weakness. I had a price target of 434, but it couldn't quite get there. And when it starts to show weakness, especially when the contracts are up and this is a major move, and a lot of other tech stocks are looking like they're peaking and they're kind of rolling over, that's when I sell. And after I sold, consolidation happened throughout the entire day and they closed near the highs. Now this thing is still clean. And I think it's still gonna go up to not just 434. I think it's gonna go a little bit higher than that. We're gonna look at the 4 hour. All right. I think it's gonna go all the way up to this green circle right there to at least 440. And that's if this structure is not fake. The SPY is showing something similar. So /ES. No. Okay, no. SPY itself. Let's look at the SPY itself. Yeah. So the SPY is showing something similar, a bullish pennant. And this one broke out actually right at the gates. It didn't play. Yeah. It played games, but it wasn't playing games in here. It broke out, stayed out, and then ran. All right, and ran throughout the day and closed at the highs. This one, I think, is going to run all the way up to this alert right here at 507. So, again, unless these structures are fake, which I don't have a reason right now to believe that they're fake, do expect a move all the way up there. All right, so that's my thoughts on the SPY and QQQ. The overall market for those of you who trade the indices. Now, let's look at individual stock. The first stock to keep on watch for a potentially massive move is QCOM, and I'm going to clear the charts. All right. Now, the reason why I want to share QCOM with y'all, Qualcomm, is because number one, it dropped a little bit. All right, and is trying to recover. This is a semiconductor stock. There is a pattern on here, and it's on the 1 hour. It's on the 1 hour time frame, and it's right over here. It's an ascending triangle, just like QQQ. It's a little bit smaller than QQQs and SPYs, but it's there. All right. The ascending triangle is there. It broke out at 2 p.m. exactly. It then held until the close. This thing should run. I'm not sure if it's going to open at 150 or if it's gonna open at 146.75. If it opens here, that's a good thing. That means that there's money to be made between here and 150. All right. But if it opened up at 150, expect buyers who bought right there, they're going to sell. That's where I would sell. I'm letting you know right now. All right. So just don't be surprised if it makes a big jump. Don't chase it. All right. Try to look for something else to make money on. But hopefully this one opens at 140, under 147, but over 146. It then sprints out the gates so that everybody can get paid on this one. So the structure is there. It's very basic, very simple, and it got room to run to the upside. And the next level of resistance is actually right at 152. So it could exceed expectations and get to 152 either tomorrow or Friday. All right. Now, the second stock that I think that is about to go crazy tomorrow. I mean, it's already going crazy, but I think it has more to give. That stock is Disney. And Disney had earnings today. All right. And before it had earnings, it actually showed an ascending triangle, but on a 5-minute. Again, the same structure as Qualcomm. And it actually broke out during the last 5 minutes. Right here. See? It popped out right there. All right before earnings. So this reaction actually makes sense when it's coupled with the structure. It doesn't always happen that way. Again, like I always say, holding anything through earnings is 150% gambling. And if you're going to do it, manage your risk. All right. This one, there was a valid reason to actually take a shot at this one. All right. Now, where is it going to go? As you can see, I have my alert at $110. I had that alert on there for weeks. And I think tomorrow is the day that it actually gets there. It's going to do something similar to what Meta did after its earnings, right? We're going to see the stock play some games in the morning, drop maybe right below, just a little bit below 105, and then buyers are going to step in and immediately push the stock all the way up to 110, which will make sense for this well, it's not giants, but for this big bull flag right here. It will make perfect sense, everything with all of the structures, because I had this thing up here because of the bull flag, but I hated the way it was just chopping slowly out here and taking forever to get up there. But I'm not surprised now because of the earnings reaction. It kind of pushed the stock and made it catch up to speed. Now, the bull flag is right here, which I drew for you guys in a previous video. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I mentioned this one before, so y'all should have seen this structure before. And I told you, and y'all even saw this alert in that video anyways. So now tomorrow is the day that I think it's going to get up there. So watch Disney. Watch Disney for a day trade. Now, some updates regarding the banks. Let's look at BAC. Now, BAC was kind of sloppy. It had that descending triangle on there that was working for it, but the one thing that's making me believe that it's not going to drop anymore is the bear trap right here. So it broke down with volume, which is good, right? It broke down here after testing 32.9, 32.9, 32.9, and then pump fake and drop, right? So there was a day trading opportunity on here between 33 and 32.6. There was a day trading opportunity, but for anybody who was really greedy, as like greedy bears, all the greedy bears actually got trapped right here when it opened and closed above $33 again. A clean structure, a very clean structure. Number one, it doesn't have all of this mess right here. It doesn't. It really doesn't. So this is a mess, and you gotta pay attention to these little details because they, to me at least, they matter. Sometimes they don't, and the stock behaves well. But when I see something like that, I'm like, I just try to look for something else that's cleaner. All right. But this one, I had reason to believe that it would drop, which it did, but just not as much as I thought it would. Because the other stocks in that same sector were actually showing bearish structures as well during that same time period, during the last 3 days. But yeah, I think this one, I think it's going to go up here. I think it's going to squeeze to $34 because these bears that are trapped down here, if it opens up higher, again, psychologically, they're going to be scared. They're going to be panic, right? And there are some bears located right here at 33.40, and their stop loss is right at 33.50. So once it triggers, it's going to push, and the next level to go is $34.20. That's where I think it's going to close because of that trap right here. All right, and again, it's all about psychology and the fear factor. Now the other stock that I've mentioned yesterday was Snapchat, and that one actually played to perfection. So congratulations to anybody who made money on Snapchat. I didn't trade it because I traded QQQ instead. But this one, I had the playbook for you guys. The play-by-play was on here. Again, we have the massive drop from earnings, and overnight, all of the longs, the bulls, they're mortified. They're sad. They're in tears, and they're like panicking on how they're gonna manage this massive loss because they went the wrong way. Right. So when these things happen, first, the market can be generous. In this situation, it really wasn't that generous. It didn't even go up past 12.50. It popped a little bit, and immediately these individuals from way up here, they took that and they sold. Again, just like the structure that I drew for you guys right here, the pump fake is analogous to that. And then we have this drop, which is this drop and fade actually, which is right here, right there. It drops, and then it fills the little gap that I told you guys about. Even though it was tiny, again, 90% of all gaps in the market get filled at some point in time. All right, so that's why this one played out exactly the way I drew it for you guys. So congrats if you made some money on it. What's going to happen to it? I don't know. This is what I knew would happen on that day. After that, I don't care anymore. I just look for something else. I look for another structure that is just happening that offers more money to be made on there. All right, so with this one, you're gonna have to be patient. Eventually, it's going to curl, like stagnant at the bottom, and then try to make its way back up, just to fill this giant gap that it left behind. Okay. Now, last stock to look at, Baba, the Chinese stock. All right, now this one didn't do too well, unfortunately. I lost money on XPEV. It's a Chinese stock. It's a Chinese EV stock. I bought it because I thought the reaction was going to be positive, just like I told y'all in that video, and I ended up losing a little bit of money on this one when it gapped down. I ended up selling everything right here at right there at like 840, and then I focused all of my attention on QQQ for that trade. So is this thing going to recover? Probably. It didn't really move that much. It's only like a 50-cent drop. All right, it has room to run. I just like to see structures, that way I know exactly when and where things are going to happen. It's easier for me to manage. So that's my thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Don't forget to annihilate the like button as always. Remember, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at 10 p.m. Central Time, so definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way YouTube notifies you whenever I release these videos. For example, this one is a little bit late. I know I've been making these videos like a little bit late. I've been coming home late, that's why. It's these videos are late. So click on the subscribe button and any notification bell. That way you get notified. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, along with the reasons why I take the trades that I take to begin with, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul Nguma and at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.